Thank you very much for attending my PowerPoint presentation on core Venge, because Dota 2 isn't fair. Vengeful Spirit is traditionally a ranged agility support character, very rare in Dota 2, but lately she's been played as a core across pretty much all three lanes. The reason for this is the addition of her newest facet that turns her ranged attacks into melee ones. She's still able to attack from afar, but she benefits from items like Skull Basher and Quelling Blade as if she was melee. She also gets a lower base attack time. Her stat gain is really good, and it allows her, with just a couple of items, to hit really hard and really fast, and that in combination with her suite of really good spells makes her a really good core. Like, shockingly good. Like, probably one of the best cores in the game to play as an offlaner mid. Before the addition of this facet, Vengeful Spirit actually had some history as a core thanks to this ability. Vengeance Aura might just be the single best defensive aura in the game, and, when surrounded by heroes, turns pretty much any team into a massive death ball. It's also tied to her innate, which is whatever. I honestly can't even remember exactly what it does, but I can tell you that the ability itself increases base damage by a massive percentage. She hits insanely hard, everyone around her hits super hard. It really is broken. But believe it or not, it's not even close to the most broken thing on this hero. That would be her Aghanim scepter. For the low price of 4,200 gold, you get the equivalent of an Aegis with no cooldown that automatically refreshes every time she comes back alive, a refresher orb because all of her ability cooldowns get reset, the stats off an ultimate orb, and the small bonuses off of a point booster. The only penalty that she pays for all this is that the ghost takes slightly more damage, but honestly, you're basically rocking 2 health bars in every single fight, and all of your spells are going to get off multiple times guaranteed. While her physical damage is already insane, the fact that she manages to get off at least 2 magic missiles that can be upgraded by Shard to guarantee 4 magic missiles, and 2 ultimates, already means that she's dealing a metric ton of magic damage. Plus, her W, which she gets to proc twice, it doesn't stack, but you get to reduce the armor of pretty much everyone on the enemy team, and it gives a ton of vision, and it even does some damage itself. This basically makes her a ranged Wraith King that gets a free refresher orb whenever the ultimate procs. The amount of stuff that she gets from this one single item is nuts. It is probably the single best way to spend 4,200 gold in the entire game. Now, if all of that sounded appealing to you, you're probably wondering how to abuse it. Well, I'm very glad to tell you that Vengeful Spirit is incredibly easy to play as a core. You literally just right-click people. You're like a sniper with a little bit less range, and you also have some really amazing spells. As far as the item build goes, grab a couple Wraith Bands. For some reason, they feel way better on her than any other hero, so grab at least 1. 2 is probably good, because you like to buy big items, upgraded items, so you'll have the slots for it. Then, rush Ags immediately. The sooner you get this, the sooner you are a massive problem that the enemy does not have a way to deal with, because there's not really anything in the game that outright deals with Vengeful Spirit. After that, just grab more items that help you right-click. As far as actually playing her in like a teamfight situation, you basically just match her keyboard. Go ahead and swap someone on the enemy team into yours to ensure that they die, then Q, W, get all your spells off, and intentionally die. Which is a little bit harder to do, by the way, because your ult also gives you a massive barrier. But when you do die, all your spells are back up. So go ahead and ult someone for another barrier and another massive amount of damage, hit Q for the stun, W for the armor reduction, and just click away. One of the only real limitations of Vengeful Spirit Axe is the fact that active items, you cannot use them while you are a ghost. So stuff like Manta, Hurricane Pike, BKB, you can't use them after you die, but do not let that deter you from picking them up. Just being able to use them on your first life is also really good, and she benefits a lot from those stats as well. Also, I don't know how, just going these items somehow makes you really tanky. Like, Vengeful Spirit has decent strength gain, but you look at the numbers and just something's not adding up. I don't know if Valve, like, accidentally added a modifier or something specifically to her, but Vengeful Spirit, somehow tanky. Oh, and again, 2 health bars. I have some thoughts whenever a hero that usually plays one role transitions to another role and becomes really popular. I've written them down here. We're not going to talk about it. Now, if you're here, you've probably played against core Vengeful Spirit and have realized how frustrating it is. So here's the methods that I've found to kind of deal with her. Before Aghanim Scepter, Vengeful Spirit, aside from her stun, is primarily just a range creep. She's really easy to gank, she's slow, she doesn't have really high armor in the early game. Just beat the hell out of her. If you gank a Vengeful Spirit will die. And I know that, like, oh, just gank her early, oh, it's like really common advice for every hero, but in her case, she doesn't really have any innate defensive ability aside from her stun and running away, so just get on top of her, deal some damage, she'll probably die. The second thing to exploit is the fact that she really only deals a ton of damage to one individual target. So if you have multiple things, you can kind of just swarm her and eventually just grind her down. Her right click obviously only affects one hero. The W has a little bit of an AoE effect, but outside of that small impact, she can't really deal with multiple targets. So heroes like Beastmaster, Chen, really good for dealing with her. Visage as well is a great option. Finally, just have armor. Yes, she does a little bit of magical damage with her abilities, but the vast majority of her damage is going to come from right clicks. So if you're able to stack armor, either through auras or individual bonus armor items or ability effects like Sven's Warcry, for example, it'll go a long way towards mitigating the impact of Vengeful Spirit in fights. So, in summation, Vengeful Spirit is one of the single most broken heroes in the game right now, and you should absolutely play her before Valve nerfs the shit out of her, because it's coming. And her Aghanim scepter is probably the single best Aghanim scepter in the game, and probably the single best way to spend that much gold as well. Thank you very much for watching. Peace on planet Earth.